Today I want to talk about a very difficult topic, and this topic is a one that most agricultural consultants shy away from. They don't want to tell you about it, and even most new agricultural investors, people who are newly coming into the farming business, don't want to hear about it. They don't like being told the truth about this. Today I'll be talking about agricultural risk and its management. Just like any other business, agriculture or farming have its own peculiar risk. It has its own type of risk. Risk and threat is common to all type of business. But before I go on, in case you are watching for the first time, my name is Lawal Olusola. I'm an agri consultant, and this channel is dedicated to promote sustainable and profitable agriculture. So if you are watching for the first time, I will advise you to subscribe to this channel to have access to more top-notch and quality agricultural content like this. So everything we do on this channel is all about productivity and sustainability in agricultural space. So talking about agricultural risk, as the name implies, risky are those things that happen. They are threats to businesses, and they can cause business to fold up. They can cause business to run into loss, and this kind of thing, if it's not being prepared for, if it's not being taken care of, it might be the end of your venture in the agricultural space. So many farmers have gone bankrupt. They've gone out of business. So many farms have folded up because they don't have a backup. They don't have a plan B. They don't have any kind of preparation or any kind of cushioning to this kind of threat. So what are the different type of threats we have in agriculture or in farming? Basically, we have 2 to 3 type of risk or threat, as you may have it. We have the production risk, we have the market risk. So talking about the production risk, this can be categorized into 2. We have those ones that are agronomic in nature, and we have those ones that are humanly promoted in nature. So the ones that are agronomic in nature, we are talking about risks such as pests and diseases. And if care is not taken, if you don't do the right thing, you might end up losing your resources, losing your farm to pests and diseases. Especially, for example, if you are running a poultry farm and you don't put in structures to safeguard your investment against diseases, especially viral diseases in the poultry industry. You can just wake up one day and a viral disease will wipe off all your flock. Will wipe off a flock of 1,000 birds. All of them will be dead overnight. These are the kind of risk in agriculture. So the second part of it, which is the pest. We have pests also in animal production and in crop production, and all these pests attack your crop, and you know the only source of your income is the crop you want to harvest, and those are the things the pests are attacking. So you have to put in place whether preventive, whether if you don't put in preventive, then you must be very strong in corrective. And as the saying implies, prevention is always better than cure. So I will advise you, if you are going into agricultural space newly or an existing farmer, make sure you put in place preventive measure. Use hybrid variety that are resistant to the common diseases in your field. Use animals that are resistant and give them vaccine to protect them from these deadly and viral diseases that may end up killing your animal or your pest or your crop. So that is that about pests and diseases. The other production risk I'll be talking about is the issue of theft. It's a very, very serious problem confronting farmers and farm owners. The issue of theft is a very, very big problem, and it comes in two directions. It's either from your staff or from third party, maybe people living in your environment. So you have to also put in place structure. Whenever you are setting up your farm, you are doing your farm layout, always put all this kind of thing into consideration. Maybe you'll be using security light, maybe you'll be using all these internet enabled security cameras, or anything you want to put in place. Maybe you be doing close monitoring on anything. Just make sure you have a plan how you want to manage or how you want to check theft on your farm. It's a very, 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 very serious problem, especially in the poultry industry. You have farm workers working with you, stealing from you, and you are not owing them salary. You have people who will just come abruptly into your farm when it is time to harvest, and they will come and just harvest your crop. So these are the kind of risk you have to put in place. And also, on the part of agronomic risk, we have cases of disease infestation or pest infestation. The one that recently happened with tomato in the northern part of the country. We just have infestation in the northern part of the country, where we just have the infestation of tomato Ebola, which is a tomato pest. So this kind of thing are things you have to put in at the back of your mind. It do occur, and especially this kind of pest infestation or flooding, you don't have control over them. So, and you have to be calculative and bear it at the back of your mind. These are the things that are unexpected and you don't have control over. But the one you have control over, make sure you prepare ahead of time for them. So talking about the second risk, which I will be looking into. The first one we've discussed is the production risk, which consists of the human part and the agronomic part. So the second part, or the second type of risk we'll be looking at, is the market risk. So, and this one is can give high blood pressure, because you must end up with the market, and it is better you start with marketing before you go into production. Start with market. When you start with market, your production will be market driven. It will be easier for you to sell your product, because you've already identified a loop in the market or a demand in the market that you want to cater for. Unlike somebody who just wake up and say, oh, I want to start cultivating cassava, without doing any market feasibility or market survey or market study. So it's very, very important for farmers, new farmers particularly. When you want to come into the agricultural space, you want to establish a farm, study market first. Agriculture or farming is very, very broad. More than 1,000 space where you can do your business. More than 1,000 value chain you can do business in agriculture. But make sure you study your market very well, so as to avoid stories that touch the heart at the end of the day. Maybe you are using your personal saving, or maybe you've already borrowed money from the bank, and you invested everything with your efforts and managerial ability. And at the end of the day, the market is not smiling at you. It will be a very, very sad story at the end of the day if you don't do your market survey. It will only take you luck if you are not producing in a market-driven system. It will only take you luck to succeed. So market risk is something that is beyond control sometimes, because market forces tend to determine the price. So these are things that happen sometimes. Maybe the time you are going to the market with your harvest, so many farmers are also coming to the market at that time. and this will result into glut, and automatically the price will fall when so much people are coming with supply to the market, with the demand remaining the same or lower demand. This will automatically drive the prices down, and this means reduced income for farmer. So how do we protect ourselves from this kind of risk? The number one thing I will make mention of is having a plan B. For example, if you want to go into the agricultural space newly, I would not advise you to take all you have. If you have a 10 million naira, for example, you want to invest in an agricultural venture, don't invest everything at once. There's something they used to say, testing the water with one leg. If you test the water with one leg, you'll be able to learn on a small scale. Then when you master some system in the market and the production aspect of it, you can then invest your whole. And it's also very, very important not to be putting your egg in one basket. And particularly this goes for crop farmer. If you want to go into crop production, I will advise you to diversify your agricultural system. It's not enough like say, oh, I want to be a maize farmer. Nothing stops you from being a maize farmer and also a soybean farmer. You can intercrop the both together. Nothing stops you from being a maize farmer and also having coconuts planted around the borders of your farm. These are things you can use to safeguard your investment, because if you are practicing intercropping, for example, you intercrop maybe your cassava with maize, or you intercrop your maize with soybean. If one is not doing well in the market, the second crop will provide you with a kind of hope that, okay, if one is not doing well, another one will be doing well. And also make sure, for example, if you want to do you have to diversify your income. Another idea is the idea of establishing an integrated farm. An integrated farm is a system that incorporates no waste system, basically, where you have animal production, crop production, and processing on the farm, where you rotate the byproduct of one to feed one system and the byproduct of the other system to feed one system, and vice versa. So you are not having any kind of waste. Yeah, and it's not possible that all the system you are having in an integrated system they are not doing well in the market at the same time. So these are the kind of things you can use to cushion yourself. And most importantly, if you are coming into the agricultural space with a big bag, I will advise you to insure your farm. For example, if you are coming to establish a plantation or an estate, you are coming in with hundreds of millions of naira, I will advise you, it's very, very important to insure your farm in case of fire outbreak, in case of flood, in case of theft, in case of pest or disease infestation. So you have something to fall back on. Notwithstanding, you are insuring your car. Your car that's worth only 5 million naira, 10 million, you are insuring it. Not to talk of a business that's worth hundreds of millions of naira. So make sure you diversify your income, insure your farm, and don't put your egg in one basket. So with this, I hope you've gotten value and you've learned one thing or the other from this video concerning agricultural risk and how to manage them. With this, I've come to the end of today's topic, and I remain my humble self, Lawa Olushola Lawa. Thank you for your time, and see you on the next one. Sheshe.